All right, class, hopefully this works out. So this is number 7 from 10.2, but it also shows you how to fill out these charts here in like question 5 and 4. So it'll go over how to fill these charts out. So even if you're not up to chapter 7, or excuse me, problem number 7, you should still be able to handle that. Okay, so here we go. We start with, and I've already got this answer. They're all right, so I'll just try to go back and go through each of it. So you start with the chart here, and what they're trying to figure out is male or female, are these numbers the same? Or are they different? And obviously they look different, but the biggest reason for the difference is that we just sampled, looks like we sampled way more men than females, right? Because if I add these rows, these numbers up, it'll be a much bigger number than these numbers. So what we're looking at, whether we get to percentages or not, is actually percentages. But anyways, so we're trying to determine if there's a difference between male and female who have tried to quit smoking cigarettes. So I'll let you see the whole problem. So first thing they ask for is, well, identify HO. HO is always going to have independent, and HA, the alternate, will always have dependent. So basically, this is saying it doesn't matter if you're in one of these two categories, male or female. This one is saying it does matter. There is a difference. Being male or being female is going to change these numbers around, basically make it easier to quit smoking for this problem, but just basically talking about independence and dependence. That's what those mean. So where is the hypothesis? Can you conclude that the number of times they tried to quit before they were habit-free is related to gender? That means it's dependent on their gender. So you're going to have to look for the wording. This related isn't the same as dependent, but we got to get dependent out of related. Basically what they're saying is it matters whether you're in one of these two categories. That's what this sentence says, even though it doesn't actually say the word dependent. You have to figure that out from the reading. Okay, so I clicked on alternative. Determine the degrees of freedom. Okay, hopefully you've looked at the notes, but the degrees of freedom comes from how many rows there are. So there's 3. Actually, that's columns. How many columns there are? There's 3. And how many rows there are? There's 2. We're going to take 1 minus the number of columns, so 2, times 1 minus the number of rows, which would be 1. So 2 times 1, that gives us a degrees of freedom of 2. To find the critical value, then we'll grab our calculator here. We'll go into Math Solver, and I'll go through all, Math up Solver, and I'll go through all the steps here in case you've deleted these out. This first one would be into distribute. Okay, and it's this one here, number 8, chi-squared CDF. Our lower, we go 0. Our upper, we go x. There's a number of different ways to do this, but this is how we did it with all those other problems, and I just thought we'd just keep it the same. So this is rows minus 1 times columns minus 1. So 2 times 1 is 2. Paste. And then here, just like in the last section, we're just going to do 1 minus alpha. Okay, 0.1. Okay, and then you'll have a number here, but remember we always have to hit alpha and then solve. So 4.6, I think it was 605, 4.605. Okay, for this one, we always want to determine if the chi-squared is bigger than the critical value. Okay, it's always going to be this one bigger than the one with the not symbol. Okay, now we want to calculate the test statistic. So what you need to do for this one is you got to put this into a matrix. It's a 2 by 3 matrix, and then we have to put the expected values into a matrix 2. And the expected values are like this one here. And I'll show you how to calculate these numbers. This will give you help for the previous problems here. I believe it's some of the previous problems in here. I don't know off the top of my head which ones they actually start on, but all right. Yes. Okay, so we take these numbers, and I think I have them written up here too. You know what? Maybe I'll show you this too. Okay, so this is the matrix. Hopefully you can understand my handwriting, but I just wrote them down. Okay, let's prove that these are 269, 145, 258, 137, 150, 78. And so I found the total here, the total here, total here, the total here, the total of this row here. I added these two together to get this, and then I checked, added these three together, and made sure it also equaled this. Okay, so we're going to use that for our expected matrix, and I put that one into B. But I'll show you A here quick. So there's A. Click on Edit. Show you that this is A, 269, 145, 258, 137, and so on. So now I want to go into B. Okay, and I don't have this one in yet, so that's perfect. I'll show you how to put this one in. So 2 by 3, here's how I do this. I just do this right in the calculator. So to get this spot, the expected value for this spot, it's this number, the total of that column, times this number, the total of this row, divided by the overall total, or in fact, this would be the sample size. So it's this number times this number divided by this number. Okay, so that's 414 times 677 divided by 1037. Okay, hit enter. Now to get this spot, so this spot right here, this total times this total divided by this total. So 395 times 677 divided by 1037. Hit enter. That's that spot. And now I want this one here. So 228 times 677 divided by 1037. Hit enter. Okay. And at this point, you can finish yours and probably fast forward me to get to the next part if you want. I'll just keep chugging away here. So to get this spot here, now it's 395 times 360. I maybe could have explained it. This spot was 414 times 360 divided by 1037. Okay. And then the last spot is 228 times 360 to get this spot. So total here, divided by 1037. There we go. Hit enter. So we have them both in there. What are we looking for? We're looking for the test statistic. So I quit out of here. And then now we go back into stat tests. And which one is it? Go down. It's this one right here. Hit enter. And it's asking for the matrices. My observed was in A. My expected is in B, just like in the previous lesson. You can't have decimals in this one. You can have decimals in this one, and obviously we did. Okay, go down here to calculate, hit enter, and there we go, 0.043. 0.043. My p-value is 0.97, which is greater than alpha. It's much bigger than alpha, so we're going to fail to reject. And then to interpret that, since our claim was with the alternate, there is not enough evidence at the 10% level to conclude that the number of times former smokers tried to quit is dependent on gender. Basically what they're saying is these numbers are too close to claim that there's a difference in somebody trying to quit smoking based on their gender. Okay? All right, hope this helps.